Revolutionary engineered muscle patch restores function in 75% of patients with heart failure in groundbreaking study. Date: January 31, 2025. Location: University Medical Center Göttingen, Germany. Introduction. In a groundbreaking study, researchers at the University Medical Center Göttingen have developed an engineered muscle patch that has shown the potential to restore heart function in approximately 75% of patients suffering from heart failure. This innovative technology presents a promising solution to a significant global health issue affecting over 64 million individuals worldwide. Overview of the technology. The engineered patches are crafted from human stem cells that are reprogrammed to become heart muscle cells. These cells are then cultivated in a collagen gel to create hexagonal patches measuring approximately 5 cm by 10 cm. The patches can be sutured onto the surface of the heart through minimally invasive surgical procedures akin to implanting young muscle. Notably, the patches mimic the characteristics of healthy heart muscle found in individuals aged 4 to 8 years, which is vital for their functionality in patients with advanced heart failure. Clinical trials and results. The initial stages of this technology underwent rigorous testing on healthy rhesus macaques, yielding promising results devoid of irregular heartbeats, tumor formation, or any adverse effects. Following the success in animal models, the patches were tested in a 46-year-old woman who had been suffering from advanced heart failure after a heart attack in 2016. After the implantation of the patch, her condition stabilized and she subsequently underwent a heart transplant. This provided researchers the opportunity to confirm that the patches had survived and developed a blood supply. Currently, the ongoing clinical trial includes 15 patients with therapeutic effects expected to manifest within 3 to 6 months post-implantation. 75% of these patients have demonstrated significant improvements in heart function. The patches are particularly targeted at patients who are not candidates for heart transplants or those receiving palliative care. Key findings and implications. 1. Safety and efficacy. The patches significantly enhance the heart's pumping ability while minimizing the risks typically associated with direct injections of heart muscle cells such as tumor formation and arrhythmias. 2. Long-term outcomes. Although the initial results are promising, the long-term effectiveness and safety of the patches are still under investigation. Researchers stress the necessity for larger-scale studies to comprehensively understand the benefits and potential risks. 3. Alternative to transplants. This engineered approach provides a novel alternative to heart transplants, which are often limited by organ availability and associated complications. The patches could become a critical option for the majority of heart failure patients who do not qualify for transplants. Expert perspectives. Prominent experts in the field, including Professor Ingo Kuchka and Professor Wolfram Hubertus Zimmermann from the University Medical Center Göttingen, have praised the research as a significant advancement in cardiac treatment. They acknowledge, however, the need for further research to enhance the patch's maturation and blood flow establishment, which have been identified as areas requiring improvement. Professor Sion Harding from Imperial College London described the research as groundbreaking but noted that further studies are needed to address the incomplete maturation of heart muscle cells in the patch and the slow establishment of blood flow. Professor Ipsita Roy from the University of Sheffield also welcomed the work, highlighting that the surgery involved is less invasive than traditional heart transplant procedures. Conclusion. The engineered muscle patch developed by researchers at the University Medical Center Göttingen represents a promising advancement in the treatment of heart failure. While the initial clinical trials have shown encouraging results, ongoing research and future studies will be crucial in validating the long-term efficacy and safety of this innovative strategy. If successful, this approach could transform the landscape of heart failure management, offering renewed hope to millions suffering from this debilitating condition. References. 1. Statnews www.statnews.com/2025/01/29/heart failure heart patch stem cells/ 2. The Guardian www.theguardian.com/science/2025/Jan/29/scientists develop patch repair damage heart failure. 3. BBC News www.bbc.com/news/articles/cgkjnl0d80. This revolutionary development could be a pivotal moment in cardiac care, potentially ushering in a new era of treatment for heart failure patients globally. The study on the revolutionary engineered muscle patch for heart failure presents several counterintuitive points that challenge conventional understanding of cardiac treatments and regenerative medicine. 1. High success rate in advanced cases. It is counterintuitive to find that a treatment involving engineered muscle patches can restore heart function in 75% of patients with advanced heart failure. Typically, advanced heart failure is associated with poor outcomes and limited treatment options. This study suggests that engineered patches can significantly improve conditions in patients who are usually considered beyond traditional interventions. 2. Use of donor cells versus patient's own cells. The patches are created from donor cells, which may seem counterintuitive since using a patient's own stem cells is often considered the gold standard in regenerative medicine to avoid immune rejection. However, the study indicates that using off-the-shelf patches from donor cells may provide a more immediate solution for patients who cannot wait for their own cells to be processed, addressing both the urgency of treatment and the practical challenges of time and costs involved in generating personalized patches. 3. Minimally invasive procedure. The method of suturing patches onto the heart through minimally invasive surgery is surprising given the complexity and delicacy of heart tissue. The conventional expectation might be that such advanced interventions would require more invasive surgical techniques. Instead, the approach highlights a shift towards less invasive methods that still achieve significant therapeutic benefits. For cell characteristics of young muscle, the patches mimic the characteristics of heart muscle that is only 4 to 8 years old. Which is intriguing since one would expect that patches derived from older or damaged tissue might not exhibit such youthful qualities. This suggests that regenerative techniques can effectively rejuvenate tissue, offering a potential avenue for treating age-related cardiac deterioration. 5. Delayed therapeutic effects. It is noted that the therapeutic effects of the patches may take 3 to 6 months to manifest, which is somewhat counterintuitive in the context of heart failure treatments that typically aim for immediate results. This delayed effect contrasts sharply with the urgent need of heart failure patients for rapid relief from symptoms and raises questions about patient selection and timing for such interventions. 6. Safety profile compared to direct injections. The study emphasizes that using patches poses fewer risks of complications like tumors or arrhythmias compared to direct injection of heart muscle cells, which has historically been fraught with challenges. This finding contradicts the assumption that more direct methods like injections would naturally yield more immediate and effective results in regenerating heart function. 7. Not a replacement for transplants. The research does not intend for the patches to replace heart transplants but rather serve as a novel treatment for patients in palliative care who have no other options. This approach underscores a shift in focus from replacement therapies to innovative augmentation strategies which may be more applicable to a broader patient population. 8. Potential for improved quality of life. While the patches target heart function, the implication that they can also improve life quality for patients with severe heart failure is profound. Traditionally, heart failure management focuses on prolonging life with limited emphasis on enhancing quality of life. But the patches could change this narrative by potentially allowing patients to regain a more functional status. In conclusion, this study presents numerous counterintuitive insights into the treatment of heart failure, emphasizing innovative approaches that challenge established medical paradigms and offer hope for millions affected by this condition. The recent study reporting the development of an engineered muscle patch that restores heart function in about 75% of patients with heart failure is revolutionary. Yet there are critical aspects that many may overlook. Here are the significant but often underappreciated elements of the study and their implications. 1. Stem cell innovation and reprogramming. The patches are created from human stem cells that are reprogrammed to become heart muscle cells. This process is significant because it highlights the tremendous potential of regenerative medicine. While many people focus on the end result, improved heart function, they may overlook the complexity and sophistication involved in reprogramming cells. The ability to transform one cell type into another is a monumental step in biotechnology as it opens doors to potentially treating a variety of conditions beyond heart disease. The implications of this technology could extend into other areas of regenerative medicine, including treatment for neurological disorders, muscle injuries, and even organ regeneration. 2. Minimally invasive procedure. The method employed to implant these patches is minimally invasive, resembling a procedure akin to suturing. This aspect is particularly significant because it represents a shift from traditional heart surgeries, which often involve extensive procedures with longer recovery times. The ability to perform a less invasive surgery can lead to reduced hospital stays, lower healthcare costs, and decreased risk of complications associated with major surgeries. Many patients may not fully appreciate how this advancement could change the landscape of cardiac surgeries and the overall patient experience. 3. Safety profile compared to previous methods. The engineered patches provide a safer alternative to direct injections of heart muscle cells, which have historically led to complications such as tumors or arrhythmias. The significance of this safety profile cannot be understated. Patients with heart failure often have limited options, and the fear of adverse effects can deter them from pursuing potentially beneficial treatments. Highlighting the comparative safety of these patches may encourage more patients to consider participating in clinical trials or seeking innovative treatments, thereby expanding access to advanced care. 4. Long-term efficacy and maturation. While the initial results show promise, the study acknowledges that the long-term efficacy and maturation of the patches require further investigation. This is a crucial point that many may overlook as the immediate results are enticing. Understanding that the patches need time to mature and establish a robust blood supply is significant because it sets realistic expectations for patients and caregivers. It also emphasizes the importance of ongoing research and monitoring in clinical settings to gather data on long-term outcomes, which is essential for validating the technology's effectiveness. 5. Impact on heart transplant landscape. The engineered patches serve as a potential alternative for patients who are not candidates for heart transplants. This is particularly noteworthy given the global shortage of available organs for transplantation. By addressing a population that typically has limited treatment options, those in palliative care or with a high mortality rate, the patches could significantly impact the management of heart failure. This aspect may be overlooked by those who view the patches merely as a supplementary treatment rather than a transformative option that could alleviate the pressure on transplant lists and improve patient outcomes. 6. Broader implications for healthcare systems. The implications of this technology extend beyond individual patient care. They could reshape healthcare systems. As heart failure is a leading cause of death worldwide, effective treatments like the engineered muscle patch could reduce hospitalization rates, lower healthcare costs, and improve quality of life for millions of patients. However, these systemic changes may not be immediately apparent to the public, who often focus on individual patient experiences rather than the broader context of healthcare efficiency and cost-effectiveness. 7. Off-the-shelf solutions and accessibility. The ability to create off-the-shelf patches from donor stem cells is an innovative feature that may be overlooked. This advancement could streamline the treatment process and reduce wait times for patients in need of heart repair. It also introduces an element of standardization in treatment, which could improve access to care. Many patients may not realize how critical this is in the context of emergency situations where timely intervention is essential. 8. The role of collaborative research. The study's success is a result of collaborative efforts among researchers and institutions, which is not always highlighted in media coverage. The role of interdisciplinary research in advancing medical technologies is significant as it brings together expertise from various fields to solve complex problems. This collaborative approach can serve as a model for future innovations in medicine, yet it is often overlooked in favor of focusing solely on the technological advancements themselves. Conclusion: the development of the engineered muscle patch represents a remarkable advancement in the treatment of heart failure with the potential to alter the course of care for millions. However, the nuances surrounding its creation, implementation, and implications are vital for understanding its full impact. Recognizing these often overlooked details can foster a greater appreciation for the complexity of medical research and its potential to transform patient care. Ongoing studies and trials will be essential in validating these findings and ensuring that this innovative approach can be fully realized in clinical practice. 1. Innovative technology and methodology. The engineered muscle patch represents a significant advancement in cardiac treatment utilizing human stem cells that are reprogrammed into heart muscle cells and cultivated in a collagen gel. This methodology not only allows for the creation of patches with the characteristics of relatively young heart muscle ages 4 to 8 years, but also enables their suturing onto the heart through minimally invasive procedures. This contrasts with traditional methods that often involve direct injection of muscle cells, which can lead to severe complications. The ability to implant young muscle into failing hearts offers a promising avenue for enhancing heart function, especially in patients who are not candidates for heart transplants. 2. Clinical trial results and patient impact. The ongoing clinical trials have shown that approximately 75% of patients with heart failure who received the patches demonstrated improved heart function. This statistic highlights the potential effectiveness of the patches as a treatment option for a condition that currently affects over 64 million people globally. The study's implications are particularly significant for patients who are receiving palliative care or who are ineligible for heart transplants, providing them with a potentially life-saving alternative that could stabilize their condition. 3. Safety profile and long-term considerations. The preliminary results from both animal studies and human trials indicate a favorable safety profile for the patches, with no reports of adverse effects such as irregular heartbeats or tumor formation. However, the long-term effectiveness and safety of the patches remain under investigation. Researchers emphasize the need for larger-scale studies to fully understand the benefits and risks associated with this innovative treatment. The potential for establishing a robust blood supply and the maturation of the implanted tissue are critical areas for further research, which will ultimately determine the patch's viability as a long-term solution for heart failure patients. For broader implications for heart failure treatment, the engineered muscle patch offers a groundbreaking alternative to heart transplants, which are limited by organ availability and high complication rates. As the leading cause of death worldwide, heart failure presents a pressing health challenge. The development of off-the-shelf heart patches could revolutionize treatment protocols, making cardiac interventions more accessible and less risky for patients. This research opens new avenues for managing heart failure, emphasizing the need to explore innovative solutions in response to a growing global health crisis. The findings from this study could pave the way for a new era in heart failure management, fundamentally changing the landscape of treatment options available to patients. 1. The development of the first artificial heart, Jarvik 7. In the late 1980s, Dr. Robert Jarvik and his team at the University of Utah developed the Jarvik 7, the first permanent artificial heart designed to replace a failing heart. In December 1982, the first human recipient, Barney Clark, underwent the procedure. The Jarvik 7 was a significant advancement in cardiac medicine, aiming to provide a solution for patients with end-stage heart failure who were not candidates for transplant. While the device extended Clark's life for 112 days, it also raised ethical concerns and highlighted the challenges of artificial organ longevity and integration with the human body. This case paved the way for further innovations in artificial hearts and heart assist devices. 2. The use of stem cells in cardiac repair, CCTI trials. In the early 2000s, clinical trials began investigating the use of stem cells for cardiac repair in patients with ischemic heart disease. The Cardiovascular Cell Therapy Research Network (CCTRN) explored the viability of injecting stem cells directly into the heart muscle to regenerate damaged tissues. These trials aimed to assess the safety and efficacy of stem cell therapy in enhancing heart function and improving patient outcomes. Results varied, with some patients experiencing significant improvements in heart function while others faced complications. This line of research has continued to evolve and serves as a foundation for current studies, including engineered muscle patches. 3. The first successful heart transplant. Christiaan Barnard. The first successful human heart transplant was performed by Dr. Christiaan Barnard in December 1967 at Groote Schuur Hospital in Cape Town, South Africa. The recipient, Louis Washkinsky, lived for 18 days post-transplant before succumbing to pneumonia. This groundbreaking procedure marked a pivotal moment in medical history, demonstrating the possibility of organ transplantation and setting the stage for advancements in surgical techniques, organ preservation, and immunosuppressive therapies. Barnard's work opened the door to the field of transplant medicine, leading to improvements in the survival rates of heart transplant recipients and the development of more sophisticated transplant protocols. Future outlook on engineered muscle patches for heart failure. The recent development of engineered muscle patches that have demonstrated the ability to restore heart function in approximately 75% of patients with heart failure marks a significant breakthrough in cardiac medicine. As clinical trials continue and technology evolves, the future prospects for these patches could reshape the treatment landscape for heart failure and related cardiovascular diseases. Predictions for the next decade. 1. Widespread clinical adoption. If ongoing clinical trials yield consistent positive results, we can anticipate these engineered muscle patches becoming a standard treatment option for patients with advanced heart failure by the end of the decade. This would represent a paradigm shift, providing a viable alternative to heart transplants and mechanical assist devices. 2. Expansion of patient eligibility. Current trials primarily involve patients who are not candidates for heart transplants. However, as the technology matures and proves its safety and efficacy, we could see the patches being applied to a broader range of heart failure patients, including those with less severe conditions and even those awaiting transplants. This expansion could potentially impact millions more patients globally. 3. Improved patch technology. Advances in biomaterials and tissue engineering are expected to enhance the performance of these patches. Researchers may develop patches that not only integrate more effectively with existing heart tissue but also promote faster vascularization, reducing the time required for therapeutic effects to manifest. For personalized medicine, the future of engineered muscle patches may also lie in personalized approaches. As genomic and proteomic technologies advance, it may become feasible to create patches tailored to the individual patient's genetic makeup, improving compatibility and outcomes while minimizing the risk of rejection. 5. Regulatory approvals and market entry. Assuming successful results from ongoing trials, regulatory bodies such as the FDA and EMA are likely to fast-track approvals for these innovative therapies. We could see the first commercial patches available to patients within the next 5 years, enabling healthcare providers to offer cutting-edge treatments sooner. 6. Integration with other therapies. Engineered muscle patches may not function in isolation. Future treatment regimens could integrate these patches with pharmacological therapies, lifestyle modifications, and advanced monitoring technologies, creating a comprehensive approach to managing heart failure. 7. Research and development in related areas. The success of engineered muscle patches may lead to further research in regenerative medicine, potentially spurring the development of similar technologies for other organs and tissues affected by degenerative diseases or injuries. This could catalyze a broader revolution in tissue engineering and regenerative therapies. 8. Cost and accessibility. As production techniques improve and economies of scale are realized, the cost of engineered muscle patches is expected to decrease, making them more accessible to a wider patient population. Efforts to ensure equitable access will be critical in addressing the global health crisis posed by heart failure. Long-term considerations. 1. Monitoring long-term efficacy. Ongoing research will need to focus on the long-term effectiveness of the patches in real-world settings. Comprehensive studies will be essential to understand the durability of the patches and their ability to provide sustained improvement in heart function over years. 2. Post-market surveillance. Once these patches are in use, robust post-market surveillance will be necessary to monitor for any unforeseen complications or long-term effects, ensuring patient safety and fostering public trust in this innovative therapy. 3. Ethical and societal implications. The introduction of engineered muscle patches could raise ethical questions regarding their use in different patient populations, including considerations about consent, especially in vulnerable populations. Societal attitudes toward organ transplants versus engineered solutions may also evolve. For education and training, healthcare professionals will require education and training on the application and management of these new therapies. This will ensure that clinicians are equipped to provide optimal care and advice to their patients, fostering better outcomes. 5. Global health impact. If the patches prove effective, their impact could extend beyond individual patients to global health initiatives aimed at reducing the burden of heart disease. This could lead to improved quality of life for millions, decreasing healthcare costs associated with advanced heart failure treatments. Conclusion. The engineered muscle patch represents a promising leap forward in the treatment of heart failure, with the potential to radically change patient outcomes. As research progresses, we can expect significant advancements in technology, patient care, and the overall management of heart disease. Continued investment in this field will be essential to realize the full potential of engineered muscle patches and ensure that they become a cornerstone of cardiac care in the future.